Dana Barrett asked Dr. Venkman, why do you like being a Ghostbuster? He replied, same reason I asked you out, 'cause busting makes me feel good.
Ugh, that's tasteless.
No, ma'am, that's tasteless.
Movie review, bitches!
High school nuts, we gotta make them high school nuts. With the taste of high school nuts. This fucking stinks. All right, welcome everybody. Tasteless Adjacent Podcast. What better for a nice VD Valentine's Day episode than to watch a nice classy movie like Porky's 2. I am Jay Chowder. We got Bone.
Boogie, boogie. Boogie, boogie.
We got Slopdog.
Hello.
And coming back again, he's going to regret it, but I think for a little bit he'll like it. We have, you know, from the movies and shows, you know, Blue Bloods, Sex and the City, Brothers McMullen, Law and Order, Reunion 108, Stuck in the Middle, The Jersey Devil, and of course fucking Porky's 1, Porky's 2, producer, director, motherfucking award-winning actor, the legend fucking returns, Jack Mulcahy.
Oh my God! I don't know what the fuck to say, man. That was such an improvement. Such an improvement, man. You worked on that shit, man. That was good. It's great to be here.
He's
folks.
staying with me, Jack, and I hear him practicing it in the other room.
He's like, are you practicing it for Jack? And I was like, you shut your fucking mouth. You don't even know.
That was fantastic. Thank you.
Hey, man, the legend comes back. We got to fucking make sure he's coming in nice. All right. So, of course, VD, this will be out for Valentine's Day. Porky's 1, fucking phenomenal film. They came out Porky's 2 next day. We talked a little about that in the other episode we did, but this movie is just like the first one. I fucking love it. I love this one's all three. It's like I think it's my favorite fucking trilogy like ever. Like, but this one, like, it's got a different little bit of a like feel to it. It's they're still trying to get laid, but it's like they got other things. There's racism in it, and they're fighting against that. They're fighting, fuck that, right? Why you
corrupt politicians, all that
corrupt politicians,
yes.
And it's just like, what the fuck, man? Like, dude, I say this. I don't care what color you are. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole. Otherwise, let's hang out and chill. You know?
Thank you. Exactly.
Right.
Jokes are jokes. Exactly.
Yes, we say some jokes sometimes on here that are maybe off color and stuff, but in the long run, we love everybody, man. We're not. Don't be racist. Don't be a cunt. All right.
Correct.
With that being said,
correct.
Yeah.
Joke them if they don't take a fuck, right? You know.
Right. But like, so this movie, so Porky's 2 takes place after Porky's 1. It's supposed to be the next day, but it's funny how, like, you know, Mickey doesn't limp or anything anymore. I love that. And he's like really healing quick. And did they say that in production, Jack, with anybody? Like, hey, should I be limping through this movie? Should I like?
No, we were too busy counting our fucking residual checks, man. I mean, the first one was such a surprise to us. I mean, we made it for $1.7 million, and it made close to $200 million. I mean, we were just like rolling in dough, as opposed to Porky's 1, where they put us up in South Beach, like the Tony Montana South Beach, not the fucking South Beach that it is right now. And they put us up in like the Jockey Club, and they gave us like per diem, you know, like $900 a week cash. And it was just like, shit. We were so fucking spoiled. Every one of us got a car. I mean, It was just like, it was kind of ridiculous. And we shot the first 4 weeks on Porky's 2. They were all night shoots. And then we moved over to the last 2 weeks of day. And I mean, you talk about night and day, literally, we didn't know what the fuck to do with our days because we were always like, you know, just night creatures. And I mean, it was like so incredibly funny how we just didn't know how to adjust. I mean, it was amazing.
I watched the movie and I just like go, I love it. I was watching the scene recently when I was watching, kind of catching back up with it. And I didn't realize, Jack, you're the guy who puts the dicks on the frogs.
That's correct.
I love the frog trick. It's so good.
I was like, oh fuck, that's Jack.
Yeah, and here's a wonderful story. And next time you see it, you can zoom in on my right eye because I was out drinking that night when I got called on the set to do that scene, and I was like half in the fucking bag, and I had to drive all the way from the fucking Crab House in Middle Village in Miami to South Miami, and do the scene. And as I'm getting out of the wardrobe truck, I go down one step and then I turn around to ask them something and they answer my question. And then I stepped and I turned and I hit the side view mirror, like really fucking hard, really hard. And it started to swell up. And Bob Clark looks at me and he goes, what's the matter with the eye? And I go, yeah, I just ran into a fucking side view mirror. And he goes, are you drunk? And I go, well, what better way to do this fucking scene, right? And he starts laughing. He goes, okay, next time, don't be such a klutz. Now get in costume and makeup, okay, would you? And, it's like I had like a cup of coffee, and once those lights go on and that adrenaline is gone, you've got to deliver your lines, Yeah. So I sobered up pretty well and, put on my best Elvis Presley accent. Hey, little buddy.
Oh, yeah.
What's up? What's up, Pee-wee?
Why don't you bring that over there? And then
Do me a favor. Bring this over to that little lab monitor, okay?
And Bowen, when you were recently you didn't notice as a kid, right? Because as a kid you watch, you don't even know why. You just think you're bringing dead frogs. But as you get older, you look and you go, oh fuck, there's dicks on the frog, and you're just like, that's the best. You're pinning it as a kid.
Those were real laboratory frogs, and they smelled to fucking high heaven. They were like all formaldehyde up and everything like that. And it was just like I had to handle these things, and I mean, every time that the monitor dropped the tray, it was just like. And then we had to gather them back up, and thank God they had PAs for that shit.
How many takes did you have for that?
I don't think it was more than 3 or 4 takes, actually.
No,
that.
When I saw it, last time I legitimately saw this movie almost felt like a new movie to me because the last time I saw it, I was too young to realize that the frogs had dicks.
Yeah,
so.
and they were pinned just to look like they were all whacking off. Yeah, it was hilarious.
My new screensaver, to be honest with you, fucking delicious. And,
that's great.
Yeah, so anybody who's never seen this movie, it's part 2 to fucking Porky's. Pause now, go watch it, come back and listen, or now come enjoy the hang because it's just no Porky, but at the same time they're just going through life. So they're trying to put on a school play, these fucking over the top, only out for themselves like priests, but that's what we got. So saith the shepherd, so saith the flock.
Yeah, exactly.
And a fucking great way to end every show. And then politicians who are like only out for themselves, like we're gonna help you, but then I need the votes, so fuck you kids. And so they're just kind of doing different stuff. And I love the scene where Graveyard Gloria is like going to like it's like kind of this one's Cherry Forever, but like Graveyard Gloria, that Pee-wee's gonna get them back, but then they turn it around on Pee-wee, and it's just the way she dives on him. And then she hangs upside down, and she's
I
know.
I know.
The guy's drunk in the ground. Steve is drunk in the ground, fucking he's dressed as a zombie. And
yeah.
That is one of my favorites. That whole scene for that movie, like out of all the Porky's movies, that's one of my favorite scenes. So everything between Steve in the ground and
the music they play.
Oh yeah, the music just like it. They're trying not to like. Do you know if that was real? They were trying to hold back their laughter and they kept it in.
Yeah, that was real. That was real. Oh yeah.
I can't not watch that scene and just laugh. So and the music,
the music is fantastic. It really is. And that was actually in a real graveyard too. So it's like, holy shit. We are all going to fucking hell if you believe in that shit.
I think if you have good intentions, you're okay. And so like it's just
you're hoping.
Yeah. Otherwise I get some shit. forget to do. And I guess I better pack light, just wear my shorts. And I guess that's why I've been living in Arizona so long, getting my prepared. But not only that, like the guy's like still singing, "The worms crawling." Like he's supposed to be like ready to scare. He's still singing as it's going on.
Yeah.
And I love and how they razz each other. We said this about the first one too, but it definitely, so you must have really had it in the second one too, especially after the first one. But it really generally, you can tell you guys are really friends because like when they're busting his chops about, so you're the fairy, so you're the biggest fairy, and they're like, that's good casting, and they're just busting his balls. He's like, suck my wand.
Hey Turner, suck my wand. You're the king of the fairies. Is that right? Yeah.
Yes, just
So much
anything
fun.
to say. And Meat's trying to dress as a girl, but he's like, he doesn't think he's a girl. He's just dressing like one, right? And he's gonna use the high voice. How much did you guys? Did he have to take many takes doing that?
We busted his fucking chops on that. I mean, it was fucking hilarious, and it was. And the other scene that I really love was when we confronted the Klan in the gymnasium.
Yes,
right. And if you look on my Instagram post, I posted a little picture of me and the boys confronting these guys.
Oh, did you see that yesterday? Yes. Dude, you were fucking like, don't fuck with me. Frank's going to fuck you up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome, boys. Welcome. Well, anyway, so while we're doing that, Tony and I, and I forget who else it was, who was, we're like, we have a whole gym is full of like, most of those Seminoles were Cuban kids. So it's like,
yeah,
it was really, really funny. So Tony and I would start singing, right? And Tony would be the bass baritone or what have you. And then we started singing this one song called There Was a Little Bird No Bigger Than a Turd Sitting on a Telephone Pole. He stuck out his neck and he shit about a peck and he puckered up his little asshole. Asshole, 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 asshole. He puckered up his little asshole. Boom, boom. And that was like in 3-part harmony. And he's fucking, the whole gym like was, what the fuck is happening here?
Oh, dude, that is dude, fuck the Snickers commercial. I want a copy of that. I mean, cut it right now. Fuck, dude, that's gonna be my ringtone. And dude, that is great. And then like when you had to go over to that big girl, then she's like I love how she throws him over the fucking drum set. Like
Big Edna
fucking tosses him.
Big Edna. Yeah, that was fun.
Gangbang.
And you must have loved Porky's 2 more, right? Because they gave you more time on this movie too.
They gave me a lot more time. And here's a funny little tidbit is that Cyril and Joe Running Fox got into a fucking car accident. And we had to continue shooting. So a lot of the scenes that I picked up was because Cyril got into a car accident and he was out for like 2 weeks.
Oh shit.
So the scene where we confront the Klansmen the first time, me and Mickey, where I'm running up and I knock on the door and they come out and Mark Harrier's dressed as one of the Klansmen and then we distract them, what have you. Well, those were all supposed to be Cyril's scenes. Oh. And they were down to me because Cyril got into, they were fucking drunk off their ass and they hit a retainer wall. That's exactly what happened.
Recurring theme in your fucking shooting.
I mean, and to my benefit, but thankfully Cyril was okay. I mean, he had like a really, really bad scalp injury, and Joe Running Fox had, I think he separated his shoulder or some shit. But they were so fucking drunk that that's probably what saved them actually. So
Probably.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Can you see out of it? Is this on straight? Can you see out of it that it's on straight? Everyone's a fucking comedian.
Yeah. And then and then Scott and I did the where we were tape recording the congressmen who were watching porno films.
Yes.
Remember that scene right there? Yeah, that
Yes.
was hilarious. And then
Look
we
at
were
the dick on that one. Yeah.
yeah, and then hose her down, boy, hose her down. We had such a Scott and I are still very, very tight, and we see each other every time I'm out in Los Angeles. I make it a point to he's like the first guy that I hang with, when I get out there. And he's okay, by the way. He was in West Hollywood, so nothing. He was close to the Eaton fire, but he was close to the Sunset Fire, but that got put out right away. So
good.
he's okay, yeah. And sadly, we lost Tony last year.
Yeah,
that was terrible. And I wrote a nice little story about Tony. Tony would always put on this really tough guy act, right? And he was like a tough guy from the Bronx, Anyway, he was from New Rochelle, and he was from fairly well-to-do family. But anyway, this persona preceded him. But anyway, one time we're going to a Publix, right, and we're getting food to cook and what have you, and there was always these street urchins trying to hustle and grab our groceries and take them back to the car. And one time this little black kid is like, "Oh, hey, Mr. Kid," and Tony's like, "Oh, no, get out of here." I said, "Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, grab our shit." So he takes our card and he goes, "Where's your card?" And Tony shows him the car, and he helps us pack it in. Tony gives this kid $100, right? Gives him $100 bill. The kid's eyes I thought it was going to pop out of his head.
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, take off, kid, take off." And he gets in and he keys the car. And I look at him and I said, "You ain't so tough after all." And he looks at me and he goes, "Yeah. And if you fucking tell anybody, I'll kill you." I fucking loved him for that.
That's what you need. You want someone who's gonna do good shit, but they don't want the notoriety for it. If you want the notoriety for it, there's really nothing for it, man. You're not you're doing it for that,
Exactly. And, I was smiling. He's like, "What are you smiling at?"
Well, the thing is, I would in LA. You mentioned the fires. I just it always seems like no matter what, there's a fire somewhere, and it's eventually it's gonna reach your house or by your house. So I would never feel comfortable living out there. I mean,
it's a different mindset entirely. I mean, they're living on a fucking fault line. They're living, and then if they get all this rain because there's no trees anymore, they're going to get mudslides.
Yeah,
so
it's a wonderful place to visit, but I would never want to live there.
Yeah.
I have friends out there, and it's fun every time we go. But
yeah, I love getting out there. Whether I could live there again, if I was working, yeah, maybe. But yeah.
Well, now we brought the fucking podcast down with fires. I hope everyone is doing okay.
Yeah, but something else I do love about this film, and I think Chowder mentioned it earlier, was it does really feel like it's like a bunch of friends got together and they're just fucking ragging on each other and giving each other shit and playing jokes, and somebody's recording it. And what it feels like how me and my friends were in high school, just always just making a joke and giving people shit, and it's fun. It feels so organic.
Well, and a lot of that I had to give Bob Clark credit for, because he encouraged us to hang out. We'd all play basketball at his place in Miami Beach. And, we'd always have such a good time with him on set and off. He was a really funny guy, but he was also a guy with a really, really big heart. And he's actually one of the grand wizards in the scene at the end. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So when we pull out the Zemel, and we're going to circumcise these guys, and he goes, "Yeah, so in lieu of a tip," and he's like, "Oh, a Louisville tip? What the hell are you talking about?" Come on, man. I mean, Bob was a really, really fine actor, in his own right.
God damn, you say he won it, and right, he's the same guy, right? And,
yeah, that's him. That's Bob.
I don't know if he got this from Porky's, but there's the leg lamp kind of that they fuck up, the sword breaks, right? And they're like, sword, I don't know if that was planned. It seems like it was, because they gave him the leg, right? but
Yeah.
like he kills him with the leg, which makes me laugh every fucking time. He's like, he falls as the legs just hanging up in the air, and then the guy goes and makes fucking A Christmas Story with the leg lamp. Like I'm just like, I don't. To me, I was like, I love the tie-in, whether he meant to or not.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, that's fucking great.
I mean, it's like, I mean, and Joe Running Fox was so great, and he was wonderfully cast. He was such a shy kid, and you know, we we were very good at getting him to get out of his shell. I'll tell you that.
Clearly, he got in a car accident.
He did. He did.
Like, oh man, we'll help this kid out. And then he's so shy. Here, have some of this. And he's like, oh fuck that! I wrecked the car.
Yeah, but Cyril was driving. But you know, oh my god!
And like, let's not forget about fucking Wahlbreaker's. Like, she always seems to come around in these movies. Like, she's a bit of a twat at first, but then she always seems to come around. She's kind of got a good soul because she was like with them, and the Reverend doesn't give a fuck, and the clans are coming up like, we support you, and he's like at first like, nah, but yeah, come help me out, and then she's like, that's disgusting, nothing to do with it, and then so she's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. And then, you know, they applaud her because she's good for her, you know?
Yeah.
But prior to that, when they got to play the trick on her, and they put the snake in the in the pipes.
In the toilet.
She's
a snake? Like, was that a real snake? Oh.
No. I mean, it was a garter snake. I mean, it wasn't poisonous, but it was...
She busted the door like a goddamn cartoon.
Oh,
like,
my God.
Fucking...
That was hilarious. Well, they rigged the door so that anything, you know, would like make that come off its hinges, but it was fucking hilarious.
Comes running out, no drugs, choking that poor fucking the snake. Did you know whoever that guy was? Was he just a actor from on the side, or did you know him? The guy she just strangles with no pants on. She's in the.
Oh no, he was just one of the background actors.
Actors. Oh, dude, she chokes the fuck out of him, and then.
Oh yeah. Nancy was great too. We lost her as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know when I remember seeing it a while back, and I can't remember when she passed away. But you know, she comes around and Porky's 3, and so I don't know. I just you know, is there a reason? I mean, I don't want to bring up any bad blood or anything. Is there a reason you weren't in part 3? Is it maybe because Bob wasn't involved?
Bob wasn't involved. Plus, you know, when I saw the script, there really wasn't anything for me. And, you know, at that point I had kind of moved on and my career was like starting to take off as well. And I think, what was the guy's name? Comac, the guy who directed it. I had no relationship with him. And it was, and the associate producer, Gary Gotch, who was Bob's right-hand man, wasn't involved at all either. And Bob was just like, yeah, I'm done. So I'm like, okay, I'm done. So no big deal. No hard feelings. But yeah, it was great.
Good. Yeah, I was thinking that. I was talking to Bone, and I was like, I wonder. And Bone's like, well, let's not bring up any fucking bad blood. Like maybe he's like fucking hates him. Someone fucks someone's mom or something. Who knows? And he's like, don't bring that shit up. And I was like, I'm bringing it up. Yeah.
I don't care.
I call him Dad now. It's who cares? You know, it's been long enough. Yeah.
Exactly.
So what is new in the world of you, Jack? Anything awesome going on?
Well, yeah. So the last time we spoke, I had just finished producing this feature film, Paul and Greg and Amelia, down in Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah. And I just saw the rough cut of it about 3 weeks ago, and it looks fucking amazing. We have it scored for the first hour, completely original score, and now we are closing in on our distribution deal. We're like one meeting away.
Wow. Dude, that's fucking congratulations.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, and my first conversation with this gentleman, Todd Slater, he's wonderful. He does this shit all the time. He had just come from the AFM, right, the American Film Market, and we were talking. He said, "So Jack, tell me, what was the budget on this feature?" I said, "We got it done for less than $80,000." Long silence, and then he fucking says, Do you know, that is music to my fucking ears. There's so many of these kids out there like, I can't get my $3 million film sold. It's like, yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
I
Make it
mean,
work, bitch. Yeah.
so yeah, so and I think we need maybe another 10 grand for, final color correction and sound effects and all that kind of shit. But if we do strike this deal, they'll pay for that, and then they'll
Oh,
sell the
nice.
film. And so yeah, so we're sitting pretty. And
That's awesome.
yeah, and another one just fell into my lap. It's like a $500,000 budget. It's called Grinding Halt, and it's a COVID story where it's written by the guy who wrote it, experienced leaving the city with his pregnant wife. He's Jewish. She's from a waspy family, and he goes up to stay with her parents, who are like totally fucking Trumpers.
Oh.
And so it's like, and the whole town is like Trumpers as well. And so it's like mayhem and hilarity ensue. So we're looking to shoot this thing this summer, and I've got the script out to Stephen Root and to Gene Smart and to a couple of other people. Sarah Goldberg would be my ideal to play the pregnant wife.
Who are you playing, Jack? Are you playing the?
I'm playing the state trooper.
Oh man, you should play the dad.
Not old enough, really. So
Okay.
I think Stephen Root would probably do it well. He'd do it really well justice.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm playing a state trooper. Yeah, who's trying to keep this fucking town from like exploding. Tiny little town, like 150 people. Right?
You grew up there. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go, in the Hudson Valley. So yeah.
Dude, and then like I love it, man. Like from time to time I'll check in because I love hearing all this backstage shit because it's like it's so interesting to me because like of course we do the podcast and we fuck around with sketches and stuff, but of course one day that's your goal. High School Nights, Jack, coming one day. I don't know when,
man.
but it's coming.
Bring it.
And
bring it.
You're gonna have a great part in it. I love it. I'm telling you. And,
what part do you envision for me?
I kind of wanted. The Christmas character, like the Carter man. But then I was like, it's either going to be that or you can actually voice one of the kids. And I think that would be even great. Just use your, like they fucking have people who are like 30 years old playing teenagers in the show. This is a cartoon. You just use your voice. Doesn't matter. And so I think it's going to be great, man. And but when I eventually get these, I have a couple sketches ideas. It'll be like the short sketches will actually be kind of what the kids at night will go do. And then we were just joking around. We just did a Commando episode where we reviewed that movie, and like we didn't realize how gay Bennett was. And God bless him, like who you like, but he's like overly gay for Arnold in that movie. And so, like, now that I'm staying with my brother for a little bit, we're just going around the house doing Gay Bennett and Arnold Schwarzenegger to each other. So I'm just like, John, you left your socks on the floor, John. And he's like, oh, God damn it, Bennett. And then, like he's just like, so, like, for the B-roll of this fucking show would just be Gay Bennett and Arnold Schwarzenegger's neighbors. Maybe we have to change the name a little, but like, and they just would be going back and forth, and that'd be the B-roll of this show. While the kids go out and they reach in a vagina for 25 cents. They gotta go in the garage and jerk off and feed a monster cum, or he'll blow up the world. Stuff like this. And then the B-roll will just be Gay Bennett and Schwarzenegger. And
it's like Little Shop of Horrors.
It's all over the place, Jack. All over the place.
Oh man, dude! I was telling him that we did an episode of Little Shop of Horrors recently, Jack, and like we were talking about how you feed the blood. And when I was a kid, I'm gonna lose. This is where I lose Jack. I would sit on the bowl. This is where you
almost lost me, and I was your brother. I'm your brother.
I would sit on the bowl, and you know how your penis hole is? I'd open my penis hole a little bit, and instead of like feeding the blood, I'd spit my pecker hole like it was like I was feeding the plant. And
ow!
Yikes!
Well, Jack will never be back on.
That's how you get infections.
Ow! I mean, but who amongst us hasn't done that, right?
Oh,
Who
fuck,
hasn't
Jack.
who hasn't been sitting there in the bathroom and the toilet
I
paper
mean,
tubes?
I
empty,
wasn't.
and you're just like, maybe.
Yeah, I wasn't 35 when I did it, but it's like these are the things you learn early in life.
Oh, Jack, he's like, I made some bad choices in life, and this is one of them. And no, man, it's an honor. It's honorable. Oh, fuck, let's rate this movie. So, anyway, clearly I'm a huge Porky's fan. It's
Yes,
kind of
sir.
framed my life, and I fucking love it, dude. I give this movie 5 dog dicks, and it fucking butters my bread both sides. Bone, what say you?
So I absolutely love this movie. It was, again, it's so organic and it's just so funny. Like there's so many scenes in it. The frog scene, the graveyard scene are 2 of my favorite from the franchise. Absolutely love this film. Yeah, it's 3 films. It's a franchise.
I fucking love it. It's my favorite fucking 3.
Yeah, and I these movies I could just watch over and over. I'm gonna give it 5 dog dicks as well because I just absolutely love it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna 5 dogs. Jack, whether you're here or not, this thing's getting 5 dog dicks. And Slopdog, how about you? What do you say?
All right. So I hadn't watched this before. I missed this one somehow. I think I might have seen part of it like a really long time ago. So
Yeah.
my husband and I watched it last night, and we were actually laughing. Like, it's a great movie. Like, obviously, it's not good for like a family, but like,
Sunday dinner. Come on, kids.
come on, let's watch this together. But it really made us laugh. Even my husband was like hysterical towards the end, where she's got what is it, like the stuff in her boobs there? With
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
grow up.
Oh my God,
Oh
how
my
we forgot to talk about this?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna give it. I'll give it 5 dog dicks as well. I enjoyed it. It was very good.
Slopdog, thank you so much.
That old guy when she pops on her nipple.
Oh, God. That was Ed Winter, who was actually in MASH for a little while. He's a wonderful actor. Really nice guy, too. One of the
I knew I
congressmen.
recognized him somewhere.
Yeah, he was great. He was great. I mean, that whole thing. I mean, I had a friend of mine who was like one of the PAs, right? And during the congressman scene where they're like watching the pornos, they had to like, Bob didn't want to use fake smoke. So he had the PAs like puff fucking cigars. And of course, in Miami, you got fucking Cuban cigars. And these kids are like puffing away. And then one of my friends who was one of the PAs, I looked at him and said, Joel. And he looks at me and he's fucking green around the gills. And I go, dude, you better go barf.
Yeah.
And he goes, excuse me. And he just runs to and he lets it go. And he comes back. He's like, that was the greatest advice I ever got.
Oh, dude, sick as a dog doing that. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my
Dude,
God.
Hey, Jack, if you were in this movie, how many dog dicks would you give it?
I'd give it 5 as well.
Fuck
Definitely
yeah.
give it 5 as well. No doubt. No
Yeah,
doubt.
this is one of the few films that altogether we give it 5 dog dicks.
Yeah, I mean, very
It's a
rarely
5
does
dog dicker.
rarely does the sequel, live up to the original.
That's true.
But this one certainly does.
A million %.
This and Godfather 2, and that's about it. Right?
I'll say Wayne's World. I like Wayne's World a lot. And,
I like Godfather 2 a little better than 1. I'm gonna say it.
And Indiana Jones.
Oh, Indiana Jones. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a big Temple of Doomer on that. But
I like
that gets a
Temple
lot
of
of.
Doom too. Yeah.
And but what and you're directing this new. Are you directing the new movie too, though, Jack?
No, I'm not directing the new movie. I just directed a short feature. I mean, a short film this summer, right before I went down to Jacksonville, and we're just cutting that now. And that's called Lessons.
Okay.
It's about an at-risk young African-American kid who comes to 2 different sources for guidance and inspiration. One is me, a guy who's been in AA for so many years, and then one of his friends who is a fucking heavy pot smoker. And so our philosophies seem quite different, but they really are quite the same. So,
and is it, dude, is that to be determined where we will be able to see that, or
we're getting on the film festival circuit right now, but I can send you a link to it. It's fine.
Oh,
it's
sweet.
really, really cool. It's called Lessons, and I've got a couple of really, really great lines in there where he's asking me about the meaning of life, And I'm like, well, the fatalist will tell you that you're born, you live whatever measly existence you live, and then you die. It's very pessimistic. Good people to hang out with if you want to kill yourself. And then there's the
I'll talk to them in a week.
optimist. And then there's the optimist who would tell you everything's going to be fine. They'll paint you this rosy picture as if there's a pony underneath all that horse shit. It's like,
I work for them. And
yeah, exactly.
Well, 9 to
So,
5.
yeah.
I get out of that shit.
So I directed that, and it was a fine little calling card for me. So we're just starting to get it out on the circuit right now. So yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm happy for you, dude. That's awesome.
I know. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's a nice natural progression for me, really.
I think you should start putting the legend in your titles too. You're right for your day. Make sure you just put the quotes like you're a wrestler, the legend, and I'll fucking be like, "That's right, motherfuckers." And I can't fight for shit, but I'll be your bodyguard. I mean,
Jack, when Chowder got your email that you were coming back, or text message, or whatever it was, he comes out
down
and
here.
he opens the door. He goes, "The legend is coming back."
Let's not get crazy here. Similar.
I like to say, I am the guy who's in that thing. Right? I'm the most famous guy that nobody knows.
I know you, brother. I know you, and I love it.
I saw your Snickers commercial 100 times as a kid, and I totally forgot it. I didn't realize that was you. And then when we watched it after the last episode you were on, I'm like, holy shit, I've seen this so many times.
I remember loving that song. And go to the world.
Dude, I know. And you know what? If you go on YouTube and you just type in Snickers song, you'll see all these parodies, and some of them are fucking hilarious. And people are like setting up the whole thing. I mean, I forget which one it was. I'll have to look it up. But one just had me fucking cracking up. There was some guy in a really bad wig, and it's like, and they couldn't play for shit. No, it was the other guy who was eating the chocolate bar. and some of them can't play. They don't know the fucking chords. It's hilarious. So. But parody is the highest form of flattery. So,
right. I look forward to one. And so this whole thing started with my midlife crisis. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to put up a website. I'm going to put my old songs up there. I'm going to do sketches again. And then was hanging out with Bone and Slopdog. And we always wanted to do something together, all of us. And we came up with this podcast, Tasteless Adjacent. And here's where it is. And so if you want to find on YouTube, you can go to p1ipoo.club. That's going to give you some sketches, some old chicken songs. And then the podcast every week. Bone, where can they find the Tasteless Adjacent stuff?
So we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook now, and you can find us on Apple, Spotify, Audible, wherever you get podcasts.
Yoo-hoo! Slopdog?
Wow, that was professional shit right there.
I practiced.
Wow, I like that. Was that pre-recorded?
No, that's
Bone.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
What he's doing. I don't know what I'm doing at all, Jack. Can you tell? And Slopdog?
In your method, there is madness.
Be sure to leave us a comment. We love to hear everyone's comments, good or bad. We enjoy it. And tell us how many dog dicks you give what we review.
What movies you want to see. And, Jack, maybe you can help us on this. Before we plug all your jazz, what like Rotten Tomatoes has, it's certified fresh. Like when it's really good. So we're giving like a movie like 5 dog dicks all across the board. So we want to say this movie is like our version of certified fresh. We're trying to do stuff. I'm trying to get certified. I'm trying to get a Master Jason Bader to stick just because they hate it, and I may or may not want to fuck Jason Bateman. Who can say? And but that's my hall pass. And no. But what would you say? Would you have anything off the top of your brain that you would go, oh, this would work? We'll put you on the spot, so you can go fuck yourself. Don't put me on the spot, and we'll move along.
Do you mean how would I rate this thing? As aside from what dog dicks or
no, if something is really awesome on Rotten Tomatoes, they're like it's certified fresh. So we want to say if it's getting so many dog dicks, So would we say, oh man, this is a fucking real dick pounder. This is a real, hot pussy lava. I don't know.
I see
Yeah.
what you're saying. Yeah. I would pull from my my Rem Lazar thing and call it quixotically fantastic.
Can we steal that if we like it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, we're gonna put that on the list because we're trying to figure out the best one we want. So we'll go from there. So you mentioned your movies, Jack. Is there anything else we can plug? Where can people find you if they want to go check you out?
You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Blue Sky. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Facebook and all that other kind of shit. I've got a couple of songs on DistroKid. So I've got like four songs on DistroKid right now. And I am resurrecting a couple of my old country hits. So,
shit.
Yeah.
Do you have a full website where they can go to one spot and then get all these links? Or
Yeah, DistroKid. Yeah, go to DistroKid and just type in my name, and you'll see some of the songs that are listed right there.
All right, and then the same for like Instagram or X. Just search your name and you'll come
Absolutely.
Or come on, or go to our Instagram or our X, and I know we're linked to Jack. So at Tasteless Adjacent on Instagram, at P When I Poo on Instagram. Either one, you can find Jack. And yeah, man. No, thank you so much for coming on. It's been awesome again. Hopefully, it didn't scare you off. Maybe if we do Brothers or something, you'll come back on. Well, we were talking about Infested maybe for a Halloween, but no pressure.
So many stories on that shit.
On Infested?
Oh my God.
It's on the slate then. We're totally doing it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's book it.
And you have a link, Jack, and if you're bored one Friday night and you want to pop on, you have a full open door, man. Like you have a link. So anytime you feel bored, you want to pop on, just say hello. 5-10 minutes the episode. You have an open door policy, brother.
I totally appreciate you. Hey, Slopdog, let me ask you: had your husband seen the film before he saw it the other night?
No, he hadn't seen it. He missed that one as well, and he was like, "I never watched this," and I'm like, "No,
That's awesome."
So we watched it together.
Oh my
You're bringing
God.
couples together, Jack.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Slopdog's pregnant again.
Oh.
because of Porky's too.
You name it Jack.
Jack
Frank.
I am honored.
We're gonna name it Jack.
Oh yeah, that's a great name. It's a great name.
Oh man, this is so fucking awesome. On that note, what better way to end episode? So saith the shepherd. So saith the flock. The flock. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Peace. Happy
Good night,
Valentine's Day.
Happy VD. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
What are you, some kind of dog dick? Dick.
Yes.
Oh man, Jack, I don't know if you noticed, we're the most professional fucking show you're ever going to be on, and you came back, so woohoo!
Yeah, shame on me.
Yeah.
I'm sick again for the 40th time, so if you hear me blow my nose or anything, I'm muted. Don't worry about it. It's not recorded.
Just as AIDS, that's all. Just as AIDS. And all right, and
Wow, I'd hate to catch that shit again.
Man, I got that Magic Johnson drugs, And,
yeah, baby.
And all right, so 1, 2, 3.